Should you or should you not buy a 99 years leasehold landed property? Some of you may already have the answer, but for others, you might probably be curious to find out what's the price difference between a freehold and a 99 years leasehold landed property, assuming both houses are within the same location and has similar characteristics. In this video, whenever I mention leasehold, I'm referring to those with 70, 90 or 103 years tenure and not those 999 years, as they have more than 800 years left, which to many, they are just as good as freehold. I will also share some statistics and address the recent news article about the 144 terraces and semi-detached houses at Jalan Cempaka Puteh, Jalan Cempaka Kuning and Bedok Road, which will have their 70 years lease running out in 10 years time, around August 2034. Did those homeowners make a profit in the past? Stay tuned to find out more. In one of my earlier videos, I shared that owning a 99 years leasehold landed property may not be a terrible thing, nor a depreciating asset. There are three things to consider when buying a leasehold landed property, and I will come to that in a short while. A while back, I was serving a client in his mid-60s. After selling his freehold semi-detached house for almost $8 million, I helped him purchase a leasehold semi-detached house with a remaining lease of 40 years for close to $1.5 million. After paying the $1.5 million in full cash, he further spent another $500,000 to renovate the leasehold semi-D. Do you think that makes sense? For him, it was a good decision because, number one, he has almost $6 million cash for his retirement. That was even before taking into consideration his own savings. And if he puts that amount into investment, even a conservative 4% annual returns will be around $240,000 per year. For him, that is a good retirement strategy and extremely comfortable for most retirees. Secondly, he took into consideration that all his children had bought their own property and there is no need to pass the property down to them. Passing one property to a few children at times means more headache for everyone. I'm sure you have read news about siblings fighting over parents' property when they pass on, and I'm sure that would be the last thing any of us would like to go through. Last and not least, my client took into consideration his age, mid-60s, and the remaining 40 years lease. He knows he will be quite comfortable as he would be almost 105 years when the lease runs out. So coming back to the question, should you or should you not buy a leasehold landed property? There are three things to consider. Number one, your age. You will not want the 99 years tenure to expire when you are in your 70s, 80s or 90s because it will be extremely inconvenient to move at that age. But if it has a reasonable number of years remaining, then you can consider this option. Number two, your future plan. What is your short, mid and long-term plan? For some, it is purely to buy and sell at a profit when the market is right. Everything is about timing. Freehold properties are known to be sold at losses when timing is wrong. For others who can afford it, you should go ahead and acquire freehold property or properties to pass down to your children. Number three, your financing. Leasehold properties have different financing options when it comes to borrowing from the bank. Even the usage of your CPF for paying home loans is restricted. Understanding your financial health is crucial. Make sure you can afford the down payment, factoring in the restrictions on CPF usage, and you are comfortable with a potentially shorter loan period, which naturally means higher monthly repayments. In the example of my client who was in his mid-60s when he made that decision, it was a tick in all the checkbox. So why not? As promised, I will show you some statistics and do a price comparison on the price difference between a leasehold and a freehold landed property. But before I do that, what do you think is the percentage difference for both properties? I have randomly picked a few transactions from Kingsville, which is in District 10. These are 99 years leasehold semi-detached houses with their lease starting from 1996 and has 71 years remaining. The info you see were extracted from URA website, which will not show the actual address of the property. For myself, using paid software and subscription, I know which are the houses, thus making it easier for me to do a more accurate assessment. For privacy reason, I have blacked out the actual address of these properties. In my first example, this owner bought his 3,000 square feet leasehold semi-D at Kingsville in 2007 at 2.49 million and sold it subsequently for 3.88 million in 2010. He profited 1.39 million. In terms of percentage, he gained 55.8% in 3 years, which works out to 18.6% per year, which is incredibly good. Next, we have this owner who bought his Kingsville 2,300 square feet leasehold semi-detached in 1999 for $1.6 million, and just a few months ago this year, that same property was sold for $3.96 million. He profited 2.36 million, which works out to 147.5% gain, or an average of 5.9% gain per year for the last 25 years that he owned the property. Coincidentally, there was also a freehold semi-detached just further down that was sold at almost the same time. Both the leasehold and the freehold semi-detached have similar land size and characteristics, but the freehold house went for 7.4 million. Yes, that's right, 7.4 million. The per square foot difference is 1,296 more for the freehold property, and taking that figure and multiply with the leasehold with the land size of 2,325 square feet, the difference is 3.013 million. In terms of percentage, the freehold costs 56.8% more. This is just a guide and may not apply for every leasehold versus freehold landed properties. For example, if we compare the freehold semi-detached along Kings Road against Victoria Park Villas, which is just nearby, the price and percentage difference will be lesser than 3 million or 56.8%. Victoria Park Villas are leasehold landed properties with their lease starting from 2013. They are 17 years younger as compared to Kingsville, which the lease started from 1996. The price and percentage difference may also vary across different districts, the type of properties, the number of remaining years of lease, and the condition of the property, etc. What about the 144 terraces and semi-detached houses at Jalan Cempaka Puteh, Jalan Cempaka Kuning, and Bedok Road, which will have their 70 years lease running out in 10 years' time? Their 70 years leasehold began from 1964, and between 1995 to 2023, there were 110 transactions. Out of the 33 units that were transacted at least twice during this period, 27 were profitable sale. The highest profit was for a homeowner who bought in 2001 at $342,000 and sold it in 2022 for $800,000. The profit works out to $458,000, which is approximately 133.9%, which is not too bad at 6.38% capital gain every year. It is an undeniable fact that properties, regardless they are freehold or leasehold, will have their ups and downs. Freehold properties have been reported selling at losses, and one unit sold at a loss of 3.08 million in June last year. Well, so do you think that leasehold landed properties will get their lease extended when it runs out? Based on my observations and analysis, I personally feel that some leasehold landed properties will get an extension before their lease expire. I will leave that for our next video, so do watch out for that. Once again, thank you for watching this video and I hope it has been insightful for you. Feel free to leave us a like or subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights on Singapore's property market. I'll see you in my next video.